Hi everybody, welcome to All Games New and Old. My name is David Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be unboxing the AYN Odin 2. Now you might be saying to yourself, David, that's not a board game. And you're right, it is definitely not a board game. I mentioned in a recent short I put up that I was planning to maybe incorporate a little bit of video game content into the channel. You know, video games have been a passion of mine basically my entire life. Ever since I was a little kid, and one of my earliest memories is my sister telling me that my parents had some kind of a device that would let me play games on the TV. And it was an Atari 2600, and it blew my mind. And ever since then, I've been really pretty obsessed with video games. Now, recently they have kind of taken a little bit of a backseat to board games, mainly because my kids are always using the television or something else like that, so I can't, or the Switch or what have you. So I rarely get a chance to actually play video games unless it's on my laptop. But I have truly always loved them. I do play computer games when I get a chance, and if I get a chance to play on the TV with the console systems, I do as well. But I really wanted a system that was made for emulating some of the older retro games. And I already have a Steam Deck, which can do that as well. And I have put some emulators on there. So why would I get this instead? Well, for one, memory is of course always limited, and for my Steam Deck, I'd really like to keep it to like the Steam games. And also, some of the emulators have worked better than others on that. And it's, for instance, the Sega Saturn, which is a system that I really think is dramatically underrated, that I really love. I really had a hard time doing it on that. I had to start those games up in like a bizarre way. Like, it just doesn't really work. And transferring the games from the computer to the Steam Deck is kind of a pain in the butt. Like, I have to use this program that works maybe 10% of the time and sometimes cuts out in the middle of the transfer. It's really not the simplest system to use, I don't think. You know, if you go into the operating system outside of like, you know, the main like gaming display on the Steam Deck, it's not the simplest to use. The touchscreen is not super responsive, I don't feel like, for trying to maneuver around an operating system. It's just kind of a pain. So I really wanted something that was dedicated to the retro games, that was at least hopefully easier to use. The Steam Deck uses a version of Linux, and this uses Android 13, so it will be a different system for me. What I've seen in videos, it looks pretty simple to deal with, but we'll see what happens, of course, when I get into it. Now, I want to give full disclosure here. I actually filmed this unboxing already, but when I tried to transfer it to my computer, it was a DAT file and not a MP4 file. Even though I had recorded other videos that all came out just fine, this one did not. Now, that being said, there's almost nothing in here that was actually like wrapped up, so the experience is not going to be very different. I tried to pack it up as much as I could. The way it came, there was one little thing which I'll tell you, but you can get an idea of what all comes in the package. There's not like a ton of things in here, by the way, so nothing crazy there. So let me tell you a little bit about the specs of this system. So its GPU is a Qualcomm Cairo 64-bit. The GPU is Adreno 740, and the Odin Pro has 3 different versions. There is the base, the Pro, and the Max. So I got the Pro, which is the middle ground one, and the differences are, well, one of them is the RAM. So in the base you get 8 gigabytes, in the Pro, which is this one, you get 12, and in the Max you get 16. Also, the onboard storage in the base is 128 gigabytes, this one is 256, and the Pro is 512. As much as I would have liked to get the bigger one, this is of course a little bit cheaper, and I think it's going to be really sufficient for what I'm trying to do with this system. Now, the screen is a 6-inch screen that has a 1080p touchscreen display, which is great. It does have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You can connect it to your TV and have the display up on the big screen if that's what you want to do. And it weighs 420 grams. Now, if you're like me and you live in America and you're not a drug dealer or a chemist, that number probably doesn't mean much to you. I assure you, the system, it has a little heft, but it's not super heavy by any means. The box is really pretty. I mean, it's just all white, but it looks really nice. It has like cool foil parts where the system itself has like LED lights. All right, let's get in here. All right. So it has this nice card here. It has AYN on it. On the other side, it has kind of a diagram of all the different parts of the system itself, as well as some more of its specs here, which is great. It has this foam protective casing on top. Now, when I originally got it, it had, I don't know what it's called, but there's this paper that almost feels like thin styrofoam, and it had this wrapped up in that. I'm not sure what I did with that, so I did not rewrap it in that, but that's how it comes when you first get it. So when you take this out, you can see that the USB-C charging cable is right underneath it there. I'm not sure the length. You could probably get an idea here, maybe. It's probably too long to show on the screen, though, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's about 3 feet, so that's all right. So there's nothing under this. So this is the system. Now, you can get it in a lot of different case colors. I went with the transparent blue, which, for one, blue is my favorite color. I really like that, and I wanted it to stand out from the other electronics we have that tend to be either black or white, just so it's something that looks a little bit different. Now, some people don't like these transparent cases because there are LED lights around the control sticks and along the sides, and especially along the control sticks. That LED light can bleed out in ways that it wouldn't on the solid colors, and we'll see if that bothers me or not. I'm not certain, but I really do like the look of this, and you can also turn on or off any of those LED lights, and I think you can adjust the brightness as well as the color, so I could probably get to a setting that I think I will like. So as you can see, it has the 2 control sticks, which is perfect first-person shooters. The pads on them are a little smaller than I'm used to from other systems, so that might take a little bit of getting used to, or I don't know, maybe when I'm playing a game, I'll just kind of sink right into it and I won't even think about it anymore. The control pad feels really nice. That's going to be great for 2D fighters, and a lot of the older platform games will feel weird, I think, with a stick. I can't really imagine playing Super Mario Brothers with a stick, but I suppose it would work fine. The buttons all feel really nice and responsive. They don't have a ton of travel distance, I don't believe. It feels nice to me. One of the things in the past, I've always been kind of worried about buying third-party like controllers or whatnot, because the buttons always feel weird to me. Like, they just don't feel like they're right. But these really do feel high quality. The joysticks do have the R3, L3 button functionality in them, so that's great. So down here we have the home button that will put you back in the front screen of the system. We have the return button. I can't recall exactly what that does, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. We have the select and start buttons here. It does have the 2 trigger buttons. On the top, we have the space for your TF card, this little drawer here that you can open up. We have the HDMI out, volume, and power buttons there. Down here, we have the USB-C port, as well as a headphone port there. There are also buttons back here, and all these are going to be programmable, I think, depending on the emulator you're using, so that's kind of nice. So I do wish this would come with a protective screen or something like that, or even like a screen wipe. That would be really good, but that's okay as it is. That's fine. You can get those things separately, and I may do that just because it is a touch screen and it's going to get kind of smeared up otherwise. So this machine is actually really pretty powerful and capable of emulating a lot of systems. I mean, of course, the really old stuff, but even all the way up to the Nintendo Switch, it can do some of those games. Some of them it handles better than others, I believe, but a lot of them it can run just fine with a little bit of adjustment in some of the settings, which is kind of amazing. So we'll see, because I rarely can use my Switch because, again, my kids are usually on it. I do have a really big collection of retro games, like the physical copies and the systems, but the problem is that I don't really have room to be storing all those games in the house, and I don't have a way to really hook up all those systems and keep them plugged into the TV. It's just not really reasonable. So I'm looking forward to trying some of those games on this thing. Now, as far as the channel goes, what I will be doing, likely, at least my initial plan, is to occasionally cover a retro video game, one that's usually pretty loved by people, and talk about whether or not it still holds up. Video games have changed a lot, and some things that were just fine back in the day are maybe not so accepted now, and it'd be interesting to go back, I think, and see how many of these things really still hold up to the test of time. So that is one thing I'll be doing. I may do other things as time goes on, but that is my initial plan, and I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I will be reviewing this system once I've had a chance to play with it. I decided I did not want to go hunting down a million ROMs, so I actually ordered a preloaded memory card for this that has, tons of games for various systems on it. And then, of course, I can always add to that or subtract if I want to. And once that comes in, they're a little backed up, so I don't have it right away. But once that comes in, I will playtest this with various different systems and in various different positions. Like, is this going to be heavy if you're lying in bed and holding this above your face? I don't think it will be. It feels really nice, especially when I'm used to the Steam Deck, which I will show you the size difference here. It's really pretty noticeable. Steam Deck, very large compared to this. Actually, let me slide to like that so you can see how much different it is. Of course, the Steam Deck has a bigger screen, which is great, but this is, heftier, a bit more awkward to play with. So I think this will be really great for what I'm intending to use it for. There are a lot of these retro systems on the market, more than I had any idea of, but a lot of people are saying this is one of the very best ones, so I'm really excited to dig into it. I'm hoping this can handle the Sega Saturn games that I love so much, but it can do, the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2 and, as I mentioned, the Switch, so really a lot of capability here, and I can't wait to try these games out on here, to say nothing of even older games like the original Nintendo and whatnot. I think that'll be really fun. So hopefully you'll look forward to that. Let me know if this kind of thing interests you, or if you have your own retro system that you've enjoyed, or if you have one of these that you've enjoyed as well. I'd love to hear about that, just because it'd be interesting to see what people are out there playing. And if there's any particular retro games that you'd like to see me talk about, definitely let me know. It doesn't have to be one I played before, because if it was a game that was great once, I could still see if it's great now. So let me know in the comments if there's anything like that. And let me know if you're looking forward to this kind of video game discussion. I think it'll be kind of different, and we'll see. If nobody likes it, I won't keep doing it, and I'll just play this and be happy, and that's fine. But I decided it might be kind of fun to try something a little different on the channel now and then. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time I put out a video. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all around the table again at All Games New and Old. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like it, share it, and click this button to subscribe. If you like that one, you might also like this one.
Or this one.
I cannot believe what I did in that one. Holy cow.
I can.
Of course you can. All right. Anyway, we'll see you around the table.
Bye.
Bye.